And let's do this, guys. So welcome officially to our Twin Ready Registry. Like I said, I am Natalie Diaz, founder of Twiniversity, Big Cheese over here, and I am hosting this along with Amanda, who is kind of our chief bottle washer over here. Although that could be the Bretza, that should be our chief bottle washer, but you know, she's our figurative or philosophical bottle washer. So yeah, so let's jump right in. Now, there's a few things that you need today. This is what I would like for you to have with you. So Katie, I see you bumping around. Make sure you got water, a notebook, and your phone. Okay, so if you're watching this on your phone, that's fine. You could take a screenshot of anything that I tell you to so that you could come back to it later. If you're watching this on a desktop and you're able to have your phone kind of as a second screen, go for it. That is what I would recommend. Okay, so those are the things that you need. Now, we're going to be playing a few games because although it's not a baby shower per se, we still like to have a lot of fun here at Twiniversity, and we also get bored ourselves. And so if we get bored, we imagine you get bored. So we're starting off with our first game. Okay. And so everybody who wins a game, we will have 3 games today. And this game is included. And anybody who guesses the right answers to the game, Amanda is going to be kind of monitoring that for us, will win a copy of our book, What to Do When You're Having To, which hopefully, I was about to say, if I don't have a copy nearby, I'm in trouble. So if you don't have a copy of What to Do When You're Having To, you should definitely grab one. Well over 60,000 copies have already been sold. And seriously, it's doing good. High five, little babies. I slapped them right in the face. That's how that goes. Okay, so this is our first game. Who am I? Pick out the pieces that you see on the screen next to me and tell me which pieces best define me. Now, is this a trick question? Do I think that anybody can answer it? I would hope so, but it has to do with the arms of Twiniversity and the things that you already know. So out of those, which icons, plural, do you think best represent who I am? Okay. I don't want to give you too many hints, but I will give you a moment to guess now. And let me see. Here's our game show music. What icons best describe me? Paige, you're allowed to guess as well. Don't think I didn't see you laying on your couch. All right. So which of these icons? We will get one more game sound. What could it be? All right. Are we ready? Okay, guys. So here are my answers. The icons that I think best describe me is I am a public speaker, which, hello, it's what we're doing right now. I am an author. You guys kind of already knew that. We're giving away books. Hello, hint, hint. I am an advocate, hence I am constantly on a soapbox about something, making sure that not only are you guys getting the best from Twiniversity, but the best from the freaking world. I am a child passenger safety technician. I am an international board certified lactation consultant, hence the boobs. And yes, I am also a twin mama. I'm an educator and a podcaster. So yes, if you got any one of those, you will have the opportunity to win a copy of the book. If you already have a copy of the book, you could tell Amanda. She could always swap it out and give you a copy of the Newborn Twins book. So Amanda, go ahead and pick that. And I'm just going to start jumping in. So yeah, I am a lot of different things and I wear a lot of different hats, but the main one is I'm a prepper, right? I may not have a 5-gallon bucket of mac and cheese, I'm not that kind of prepper, but I'm a prepper for you guys to make sure that you have what you need on this amazing twin adventure. So here's a little timeline that we wanted to give you, which is going to help you when creating your registry, because that's what this event is all about. At week 12, which I saw a lot of you guys are already past, you have to start your homework. So this is the time that I want you to start your homework. And just throw in the chat right now, how many of you guys have already started building your registry? Or better yet, how many of you think that you finished your registry already? So pop in the chat right now and just tell the universe kind of how many people you think. I want to see basically how many people are there. So Bev's almost done. Betty just started building it. You think you're done, which is good. I like that you think you're done. Good, but this is perfect. So week 12, you start your homework. By week 18, you start signing up for all of your accounts. If you have not done that yet, we're going to talk about which ones to do as well. So we're going to have that. By week 19, you actually start building. So you start adding those items in, and we are not going to talk about, well, you'll see what we're going to talk about. But the thing is, I want to give you wiggle room because this class is not like buy this one time, that's it. I want to give you a lot of different options. So don't get mad at me about that. You'll see what I'm talking about in a bit. But by week 19, you really should start building. And then by week 24, you finish up and you tell the world that your registry exists. Okay, so this is kind of the loose timeline. If you are currently 15 weeks pregnant and you're like, I already finished it, good for you. That's good, but you're probably going to start adding a few more things because I bet you we could find a few more items on there. So this is the loose timeline. And I want to let you guys know that Amanda's going to put a link in. And Amanda, I could not find mine. I know that I have a Twin Ready Registry booklet here someplace, but we have created a gear guide for you that this is the last time that we are giving this away for free. So starting our next Twin Ready Registry, unfortunately, you will have to pay this just like you do for, the boot camp and all that. So right now, if you would like to get a copy of this for free, Amanda's going to put in a link. You could download it. It has tons of information in there. So please make sure that you check that out. Okay. All right. Now, how do we start this? Well, first of all, we have to start someplace. And by starting someplace, I mean that we need kind of a master list, which is what that gear guide has for you. We do have them available over on Etsy. We have them, I don't know if we have it over on YouTube, but there are plenty of places that you could get this if you do not have this. And this is kind of like the Twiniversity sanctioned Twin Ready Registry. So we call it multiple birth necessities. And you'll see that not only do we have it broken down by category, we also have it broken down by it's nice to have, should you borrow it, should you skip it, and maybe it's even covered by insurance. What? Yep, it's totally true. So know that we have all of this there for you, but that's how we're going to kind of work today. We're not going to be able to cover every single thing, like every single topic, but you're going to see we're going to cover a lot of topics. So the first thing you start is you do need a master list to start working off of. Okay. All right. Now, one of the things that I told you guys is you have to start signing up for your accounts. Now, we have done a ton of research here at Twiniversity, and we know that not everybody uses the same registry programs. And while that's good, we found that many of you guys use multiple registry programs. So you may have a Target registry, an Amazon registry, a Walmart registry, but then there's also items that may not have a registry associated with them with items that you'd like. And that's where my registry fits in. So if you have not known, this is a minor obsession of mine. I've been using my registry personally for many, many years. My kids use it for items that they want to have on their birthday list, but anybody could have a registry. So the registry isn't just for kind of like your baby registry. It could be your wedding registry. It could be your I'm on bed rest registry. It could be I'm breastfeeding registry. There's no reason that if people want to shower you with prizes or want to get you stuff, that you should not be able to combine the things that you really need in one location. And that's where my registry comes into play. So why this is different than some of the other guys out there is that this is an app that you download or a plugin that you download, and it gets attached to your to kind of the top toolbar of my screen. And it allows you to add any single item from any single website on to your baby registry. So this sample is one that we're giving you here. We know that a lot of you would love to create a Costco registry. So it comes up all the time that everybody's like, we use Costco diapers, we use Costco wipes, we use Costco formula. I think it's wonderful, but there really isn't an easy way to get all those items onto your registry. And this is the way you do it. So right here, we're giving you a sample that literally, I just went to the Costco website and I literally just said, okay, add this to my registry. And it was that simple. And it gets permanently added to my registry. I could specifically recommend the sizes that I want, whether it's the formula, whether it's the wipes, whether it's the diapers. But this isn't just baby sites. This is any site. So hint, 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 your Twiniversity classes could be added to your My Registry list. Okay. We're going to talk more about My Registry, but this is going to be, in my opinion, where you should start building your house. So if we think about our registry, right, like we need our house, and then we need our rooms. And the rooms could be like, this is our feeding room, and this is our gear room, and this is our stroller room. So we could have all of that under My Registry, but My Registry is going to be the A-frame of your house where you're going to add in all of your registries all over the interwebs. Okay. All right. Amanda's going to give us links too, so you could see how to sign up for there. But know that we're going to talk about that a lot. And honestly, it's just the easiest way for you guys to get what you need. If anybody is using it already, I would love to know, and I'd love to know some of the items that you guys added, but this was from our homework, and we just love them so much. And we're really happy and honored to be playing with them because I've been using My Registry for longer than they were a partner at Twiniversity. So yeah, you're going to love it too, especially for like when the kids get bigger and they're like 3 and you want to start adding gift items. Go for it. You're going to love it. So My Registry is kind of where you need to build the shell of your house for your baby registry. And now let's start filling up that house. Okay, perfecto. So yes, going back to that, we could link all 20 stores. So, or up to 20 stores. So you could do Pottery Barn Kids, Target, Crate and Barrel, Amazon, Anthropologie, At Home, which by the way, At Home is the weirdest store. And I don't understand the sales there. Like it is not a Home Goods. I don't know. Like, I think they're trying to be a Home Goods, but they're just not going to be, but they do have the items in stock. I just recently bought chairs from At Home, but that is some place that you could also add your registry items from. Okay. So now, let's dig in. We're going to start with some of the basic things that we need. So I already told you kind of about the diapers and kind of about the wipes. Just know that there are not enough in the universe that you could possibly register for. And if you want, it's really important to think about how much items are on your registry, and diapers and wipes are one of the items that isn't going to break the bank for somebody who does not have kind of an unlimited budget that wants to buy you things, and is also not the cost of a pacifier. So diapers and wipes are a perfect thing to add onto your baby registry because it's a price point that pretty much anybody could afford. And it's a nice way for somebody just to give you a token gift if they want to give you something. It is so practical. So another item that I wanted to talk about is cord blood banking. Now, post-COVID, we have noticed that many of you guys have not had this conversation with your doctors. So I do want to talk about cord blood banking right now. Out of curiosity, put in the chat right now, how many of you guys have had a discussion about cord blood banking with your practitioner? Like genuinely, I definitely really need to know, because we are such big advocates of cord blood banking here at Twiniversity, because not only have we had families that have had to use their cord blood for their twinnies, but I am a family that would have used it myself. And I did not know that it was something that existed. So this is something that, guys, you really have to have this conversation. I know that we're talking about like delayed cord blood banking, and we're talking about birth plans, and we're talking about such big delivery day moments. You guys really need to have a conversation about cord blood banking with your medical practitioner. And before you even do that, if you need more information, I will happily provide the information to you, but you can just call 1-800-CORD-BLOOD and they could walk you through it. But it is something, sincerely, from Natalie to you. This is like, whether, yes, they are partners at Twiniversity, but I'm telling you right now, this isn't a partnership discussion. It's something that I genuinely regret not doing, because I would have used it for my 20s. And I didn't know it existed. So once again, check out cord blood banking and make sure that you know that this is something that you do or that you don't want to do. But the reason why I push for it so much is because within the United States, we cannot donate our stem cells. So singletons, whatever, don't even get me started, but singletons have the opportunity to literally donate their stem cells, their placenta, their umbilical cord cells. They have that. For whatever reason, if you go to bethematch.org, twin parents are not eligible for donation, which makes literally no sense to me. They say that there aren't enough cells to actually have an adequate donation. However, the reason why we work with cord blood registry is because they don't charge you until they know they have enough cells. So if there was a question about it, just know that question is going to come off the table. And it's one of the main reasons why we have been working with cord blood registry for over 15 years, is because I love the fact that they do not take their big payment until that they know that they have a viable transfer, which is a very, very, very big deal. So once again, cord blood registry is one of the items that you can add to your registry through my registry. Cord blood registry has their own registry. However, I would not recommend that you use that. I recommend that you put it under the same umbrella where the diapers are going to be, where the formula is going to be, where your stroller is going to be, and everything in between. Okay. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm sad that you guys have not had this discussion yet, but please make sure that you do. And Katie, very, very good. Thumbs up for being so proactive to make sure that it's on your list for your 20-week scan. Perfecto. Okay, guys. So we got that. Now we're going to start jumping in to kind of like the meat and potatoes of the room. So we know that these guys need some place to sleep after they come home, right? And there are many, many, many different places that your twinnies could sleep. But first and foremost, we need to make sure that they are sleeping in a safe environment, right? As a safe sleep person, of course, I don't know anybody who's like, I don't abide by safe sleep. I only like super dangerous sleep for my newborns. But as a safe sleep person, we know that it has to have open sides, it has to have a firm surface, and your twinnies should technically sleep on separate surfaces, split by something. We could talk about that more on another day. I could go into a 75-minute TED Talk on the American Academy of Pediatrics and the fact that they don't want us to have our twinnies sleep together. I will not go there today. Please feel free. It's literally, I talk about it everywhere. I try not to crap all over them, but it frustrates me a lot that the rules of where twinnies should sleep, the research that was done, none of it was actually done on twinnies. That's all I'm going to say. And so the rules of the American Academy of Pediatrics are based on siblings, not based on twins. And you could see that siblings and twinnies are two very separate things. Although all twinnies are siblings, of course, not all siblings are twinnies. All right, so we're going to talk about where they're going to sleep and the things that we need. And I definitely have to talk to you guys about cribs. Okay, so some of the items that we need in their room is we definitely need 2 cribs. If I had to say where you're putting your money, I would put it into the crib mattress before I would put it into the actual cribs themselves, because the crib mattress you're going to use for their cribs, but then also once they go to toddler beds, you're going to use that same mattress. So you're going to be using the crib mattress longer than you potentially could be using that actual crib. The next thing we need our crib sheets. We need sheet savers, and sheet savers are rectangular pieces of material that actually get tethered to the side of the crib so that if your babies have a protein spill or either this end or the other end, that it could catch that and you don't have to change the whole sheets. Definitely consider buying a waterproof mattress cover if you decided to go with like a super duper cotton-y, burlap sack filled with hemp kind of organic bedding. You'd want to make sure that you have some kind of waterproof structure so that we could wash that and we don't have to worry about all those said protein spills. Crib bedding, though, if you notice, it has the big S, which is really just skip it. S stands for skip. Nobody's going to use a blanket, right? Everybody buys those sweet little like teddy bears at the circus, puppy ballerinas. They buy all of these wonderful crib sets, but we can't use a blanket. So what are we doing? Okay, so skip those from now on. No more crib bedding. It's literally just going to be sheets, period, hard stop, the end. That's all you're going to buy. You can buy pack and play crib sheets. You can buy the Porta crib sheets. If you are going to use something like the Baby Trend Nursery Center, you could knock on their door and ask them about sheets because we've been asking them for years about that. But know that there are different types of sheets that you need. And when you're looking at how many you should buy, I want you to think in sets of three. Okay. So one that's currently in use, one that's currently on backup, and one that's currently in the laundry. So if you have three per baby, you are set. So if you're having boy girl twinnies and you really want to color code them, or even if you're having the same gender twinnies, but you want to color code them so that, baby A is always in green and baby B is always in blue, you know that you need at least three of each color for each baby. All right. So know that this isn't just sheets. This is also for clothing, for socks, for hats, for swaddles, for onesies, for pajamas, whatever it is, you need a minimum of three per baby. And that's one in use, one in backup, and one in the wash. Okay, that's where this magical number of three comes from. And it is great to have twinnies because, let's say you have like an extra explosive day. We always have the third one from the other baby just in case they're not exploding. So minimum of three items per baby when it comes to things like sheets and clothing, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. All right. Let's dig into the three different types of cribs that are available. So now when you are shopping for your cribs, I know, and the reason why we're picking this out is because it's very frustrating to me when I see you guys buy such expensive items that are going to have a very short life with your twinnies. Okay, so there's some items that you're going to use for 10 years. There's going to be some items that you're going to use for 6 months. No matter if you have $15 million to spend or whether you have $5 to spend, I am very, very, very cost conscious because with my twinnies, they're in college. They do not lower college tuition costs anytime soon. And the more that we could save now, the more we could put in the bank and actually start like a rainy day fund. Okay. So cribs are one of the highest ticket items that are currently out there. You could easily spend $2,000 on a crib, easily. So I want to talk about the types of cribs that are out there, give you an idea of how much you can expect to pay for each of these cribs. And I'm not going to give you a cap on like, don't spend more than this, but I'm going to give you kind of a general guideline. Right now in the chat, if you guys have purchased your crib, just throw which one you got. I want to see kind of what's trending right now, how much you spend. So if you did register, and especially if you already have them, I would love to know about that. Okay. So pop that in the chat. All right. So the different types of cribs that are available are you have two standard cribs, right? Meaning that they are the typical standard crib size. There's nothing special about them. But the only thing that I need you to pay extra attention to when it comes to buying a standard crib is that you want to make sure that the cribs have multiple levels. And what I mean by that is that if you look at the picture at the top one, you see that the crib mattress is at the lowest setting. Now, I have found that there are a lot of crib companies that in order to kind of cut back on expenses, one of the things that they cut back on is the height levels of that crib. Now, if you're looking at that standard crib and let's say, have brand new babies and I am putting my twinnie or twinnies in there, if I just had a C-section, you could see how that's going to be really challenging to reach that deep inside of that crib without impacting my C-section incision. So when you're looking at cribs, it's important to make sure that the cribs have multiple levels of where the mattress height could be placed. So when the twinnies first come home from the hospital, your mattresses are at the highest level of the crib. And as they get bigger, it goes lower and lower and lower and lower. Okay. So that is one thing that I would not skimp on, is making sure that whatever crib you purchase has multiple height settings. So that's the first one. Second thing is you could see, even in the chat, many people have mini cribs. Now, what a mini crib is a mini crib is obviously a regular crib that has a much smaller footprint. So it's about 2/3 the size of a traditional crib. Problems with that is that you need separate sheets because it has a separate size mattress. So if you have a standard crib and a mini crib, you're going to need very different sets of, linens per se. If you are measuring out your room and you're like, we're not going to be able to fit 2 standard cribs, so let's go ahead and get 2 mini cribs, I'm going to challenge you to say, can you fit a standard crib and a mini crib? Yes, it will be a pain in the butt to have two different sets of linen, but the standard crib is going to last you a lot longer than the mini crib because your twinnies will outgrow the mini crib. Okay. So just take a look, check out the footprint. And what you could do is, if you haven't yet, before you put any furniture into your twinnies nursery, or even if you're converting a dining room or adding it to your bedroom, if you are unsure if something is going to fit, get some masking tape and actually draw out on the floor where your items would go. And that way you could see, okay, will two standard cribs fit if I put them kind of in an L shape? Will two standard cribs fit if I kind of put one catty corner and put one in front of the other? See if there's a way that you could get those two standard cribs. And of course, if you could only do two mini cribs, do what you got to do. All right, now if you look at the bottom, you'll see that the last one is a convertible crib. Now you'll say, hey, I have a standard crib, but it's also a convertible crib. Well, just know that just like with twinnies and siblings, every standard crib is not convertible, and every convertible crib is not necessarily standard. So if you buy a convertible crib, all it means is that it comes with an additional attachment so that you could remove one side of the crib so that your twinnies could continuously use that until they're out of toddler beds entirely. But the big but, and not just my own, when it comes to convertible cribs, when your twinnies go from when it's time to kind of remove the side from their crib, what do you think they will more likely sleep in? A crib, a standard crib that just has the rails removed? Or might they sleep better if you're like, hey guys, you're going to move to big kid beds. Let's pick out which toddler bed you want. Do you want Bubble Guppies? Do you want Paw Patrol? Do you want Bluey? Like, what exactly do you want? And if you have the kids help make the decision of where they're going to sleep, they will actually sleep better in those cribs, because by just moving a side off a crib, that's not really like a big kid situation. You just removed a side from their baby crib. So with that, if you noticed, you could buy a standard crib and a toddler bed, and they pretty much will equal the size, the cost of that convertible crib. Okay. So we got that. So there's your standard cribs, your mini cribs, and your convertible cribs. My personal recommendation would be go with the standard crib as long as it has the multiple height settings. Okay. So what about the mini convertible cribs? Regina, it is, yes, there are some cribs that go from a mini crib to a standard crib. But then, Regina, the problem with that is that we have to buy two mattresses, right? Because if you're going to basically grow with it, there aren't necessarily mattresses that grow with that. So just a word to the wise that some of the items out there may seem shiny, nice, and new. However, going with something that has worked since the dawn of time is going to be where I would put my money. Okay. So we see Paige could attest that we never used our convertible cribs as toddler beds. We just moved to toddler beds. So yeah, guys, don't spend the money on that convertible crib. And all those crib companies out there, I apologize. I understand why you want to make a crib that goes into a bookshelf, that goes into a taxi cab. I get it. I understand the appeal of that. However, it really isn't practical. Okay. So skip that, add just two standard cribs, two standard mattresses, and you are set for a while. So Sharon says, is it worth starting in a bassinet or starting right in the crib? So Sharon, this is really where finances come into play. I like if the twinnies can start in a bassinet, especially if you're breastfeeding and sharing a room and all that. Like, I don't hate that idea, but instead of getting a typical bassinet, I would look at and Amanda, if you could grab the link and just grab it from Amazon, I like the Nursery Center from Baby Trend. So I mentioned it before, there are very few items that are like gold standards in the multiple birth industry. That's really one of them, because that way you could have two standard bassinets that fit into one kind of container and could still be used as a pack and play down the line. Amanda's going to grab the link. We're going to put it into the chat, but that is something that I would look at. And, you know, like as a breastfeeding person, and I want them to co-room with you. I really would love if they co-roomed with you. It is, very space dependent. Obviously, my twinnies can never be in my room. There's no way that I would fit even one mini crib in my bedroom. I wouldn't be able to get into my bed. So you have to see what's going to fit best into your room before you even determine what you're going to buy. Okay. All right. So guess what, guys? Do, 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 do. I don't know what game show that is, but it's stuck in my head forever. It is game time. Are you ready for a game? If you're ready for a game, throw hell yeah in the chat, and then I will know that you're ready for a game because it's game time. Boom, 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 boom. All right, guys, here we go. Amanda and I just did this calculation an hour ago. So I know that we have the latest prices. So this is the question that we challenge you. It is a Price is Right game. How much will you spend? Also typo. Oh no, how much will you spend to diaper your twinnies until they are fully potty trained? How much will you spend? And now this includes wipes, diapers, pull-ups, and swim diapers. Go. How much will you spend to diaper your twinnies until they are fully potty trained? Please put in the chat right now. Thousands is good. We need an exact number. Go crazy. Like if this was a real game show, right? What would you be saying right now? How much? And I do have an exact number. I don't have it down to the penny. I have it down to the dollar. And Amanda has it too. How much will you spend to diaper your twinnies until they are fully potty trained? I will give us one more shot because I see if there's a little laggy here. Last try, last start, few seconds. How much will you spend? Paige, you could guess too. I do love some of these numbers. They're a little wild, but I approve because it is pretty crazy. All right, guys. Amanda, do we have a winner? Amanda's going to pick our winner, and I'm going to tell you that the exact cost is, I'm putting it in the chat because you're never going to believe it, $67.10. $6,710 is how much it's going to cost to use conventional, I should have said that, not, well, obviously not cloth diaper because it's going to be much lower, but it will cost you almost $7,000 to diaper your twinnies. So if you're thinking about cloth diapering, that's what it is. So what we did, Bonnie, is we calculated the age based on the national average, which was 36 months, and then we added in some for swim. So we went by 36 months, which we know that every baby is going to be potty trained at a different time. But everybody say congratulations to Stacy. Yay! I feel like I have applause. There we go. Yay, Stacy, you did it. So yes, that is a lot of money, but holy smoke, it is what it is. What are we going to do? So if you're thinking about cloth diapering, we are not joking. Strongly consider it. Look at our friends at Kanga Care or Charlie Banana. And with cloth diapering, you actually can get secondhand diapers and just buy some laundry sanitizer. It's not crazy. What do you think in the hospital that everybody's getting a new sheet? Absolutely not. So please, if you are trying to save some money, this is a way you could save thousands upon thousands is by cloth diapering. Throwing that out there, not saying you should or you shouldn't, but that is definitely a way to save some buckage. All right, guys, so that was our second game of the day. And now we are going to move into our next topic. All right, so our next topic is going to be all about feeding. So what items do we need to put on our feeding registry? Okay, so now if you look, you do need a double electric breast pump. Now, this is one of those items that will be covered by your insurance. And yes, we do have our boob camp coming up. Amanda, if we have a date and they could register, could we put that in there now? But guys, understand, I beg you, please do not freaking buy a wearable pump. Do not do it to yourself. Do not do it to your twinnies. Do not do it to your lactation professionals. If you have any love in your heart whatsoever, you will not get a wearable pump. Please repeat back to me. I will not buy a wearable pump. In the chat right now, please put that down. I need to know that you heard me. Okay? Baby Buddha is not a wearable pump. Baby Buddha is just a mini pump. I am talking about the Willow, the Elvie, the Mom Cozy. I'm talking about independent cups that have an independent motor that go on one boob at a time. Please do not buy that. Okay? That could be something we could get later on down the line, but everybody needs kind of the Yukon Denali workhorse of a pump that is either something from Lancino, something from Spectra, or something from Medela. These are our big guys. But please do not get a wearable pump. We work with so many people that the only pump you guys have is the wearable pump, and that is not a good everyday pump. When we're pumping for twinnies, we need a freaking pump. So our insurance will only cover one of them. However, you have to ask your insurance company, do you get a pump per pregnancy or a pump per live birth? What? Did you see what I just did there? So if you are going to get a pump per live birth, then yes, you are eligible for 2 double electric pumps. And I would get 2 like Mamba Jambas. We could get a Mom Cozy, a Willow, an LV Stride, all that garbage down the line. I'm not saying that they're garbage. I apologize. They work for some people. But when it comes to starting off to creating that really good supply, I beg you, do not get a freaking wearable pump. They just don't work well. Okay. And I've literally worked with thousands of twin families. No, I'm just going to go with no, Chuck. Do not do that to yourself. So we need a double electric pump. And we got that. The next thing you do is you need lactation support. This is another thing that you could add onto my registry. So if there is a lactation provider in your area and you are able to literally purchase from their website right there, you could literally add that to your my registry. Throwing that out there. Okay. Twins breastfeeding class should be covered by your health insurance. If you take the Twiniversity breastfeeding class and you need a receipt to submit to your insurance, let me know. We will happily provide a super bill to you, and you should be able to have full Twiniversity, not Twiniversity, full insurance reimbursement for your Twiniversity class. All right, so know that. But you do need to take a lactation class. After that, you do need hands-free nursing bras. They should be able to both be used with a pump and also just as a breastfeeding bra. I would have a minimum of 3. And yes, you could buy those during your pregnancy. I also recommend that you get a bottle washer, dryer, sterilizer. So something to clean these bottles. I don't know why you guys are so hesitant to just put baby bottles in a dishwasher. I'm fine with it, but consider getting the Bottle Washer Pro from Baby Brezza. We're going to talk about that in a second, but that seriously in 88 minutes could do a whole cycle of wash, dry, and sterilize. And you will need so many less bottles no matter what, because you have this cleaner on rotation. So I would have some kind of sterilizing device. The other things that I really would consider are the milk storage bags. Make sure you get that. That is definitely covered by insurance. And if you look at the list, screenshot this right now, because these are the important things that we need. Now, the items that I want to talk about today are, I want to talk about the bottle washer, because we do need to have everything sanitized and sterilized, because over 80% of our babies are born early. And so with premature babies, they do have a little bit more of a gut sensitivity. So we want to make sure that everything is as sanitary as possible. I also want to talk about bottles, because there really is a better bottle, and it really is the Dr. Brown's bottle. It's not my opinion, by the way. This is literally the majority of the United States' opinion. And then I do want to talk about feeding chairs, because with us, there aren't a lot of items that are specifically created for twin families, but this is where buying one of those is really going to kind of separate the men from the boys. Okay, so this is kind of where we're going to go off now. So if you guys have any questions, you could put them up now. Jen, should I stick with 1 bottle washer sterilizer? Yes, you definitely don't need 2. Bonnie, I heard that you could use an Instapot pressure cooker to sterilize. You could technically, but Bonnie, honestly, I will tell you, it is not foolproof. I have tried it myself to sterilize bottles with my my Instapot, and based on how old it is and based on the seal, it doesn't really work as well as it should. So it's one of those things, like it should work, but unfortunately it really doesn't. But Bonnie, definitely give it a go before the twinnies get here, so you could see if it does work for you. Okay. All right. So now we're jumping in. Boop, boop, boop. All right. So We're going to talk about the Baby Brezza washer dryer sterilizer first. This is an item that I fell in love with when it first came out because as a New Yorker, our counter space is very, very limited. And one of the things that I found with sterilizers in general were that we couldn't really get a bottle washer because you'd have to hook it up to your sink. But what Baby Brezza did is they have, what do they call it? It's like a dark water tank, or Amanda, what do they call it? There's like a dirty water tank and a clean water tank, but there's a word for the dirty water, like dark water, mud water. For camping people, tell me what that word is, because I am not a camping person, but I know that that's a word. So there it has, if you look at this picture that I have right there, there is the dirty water and the clean water, but everything is independently done. So no matter if you live in a tiny apartment or if you live in an RV, you are still able to wash, dry, and sterilize all of not only your baby equipment, but your pumping equipment as well. Because you do need to sanitize that at least once every 24 hours. We will save that conversation for boob camp, but you will have to sanitize all of that. And so with 88 minutes, you're in, you're out, you're washed, you're dried, you're sanitized, call it a day. And it can easily fit the Dr. Brown's bottles. They're now building some new accessories for 2025, which is really, really exciting. But you want to definitely check this out, okay? All right, so it's the washer dryer sterilizer. If you do not feel that you need the washer component, they also have a really epic quick sanitizer. Okay, so Amanda could put in the links for our Brezza stuff. We do have a 20% off code for all stuff at Baby Brezza. This is for any twin family, not just Twiniversity families. So feel free to share it with anybody that you'd like to, but you definitely need to have some kind of washer dryer sterilizer. Okay. And so with that, like I said, you need a lot less bottles. Now, when it comes to bottles, I will tell you, right? Everybody talks about nipple confusion and I'm going to breastfeed. Well, all breastfed babies, in my strong opinion, need to have a bottle introduced to them pretty quickly. Bottle feeding is a learned skill, as is breastfeeding. So we want to start teaching the babies how to drink out of a bottle appropriately right out of the womb. That way, our partners, our parents, our babysitters, our night nurses, our doulas, everybody can help us because, hi, yes, we are getting the two packaged twinnies at the same time. So when you're buying bottles, please consider the Dr. Brown's bottles. And here's why I love them. When you're buying baby bottles, okay, we have to think if we're going, right, if we're thinking about a boob, okay, let's look at a boob for a second. When your baby chomps down on this boob, they don't nipple feed, they breastfeed. So the way that their mouths open, I'm bringing out my puppet because I was just doing a breastfeeding call earlier today. Say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody. Okay. So when your babies are eating at breast, they open their mouth pretty wide to breastfeed. They don't open their mouth just a teeny tiny bit. So when you're buying a bottle, we need to get that mouth movement to mimic the bottles. So when you're looking at a bottle, we need it to fill a triangle as much as possible. So with the Dr. Brown's, I will show you exactly what I'm talking about. I do not have any other bottles here with me, but I know like Advent, and I know that like Born Free, and there are quite a few bottles on the market that has just like a very tiny nipple piece, but the baby's not going to be able to get a good latch. But if we're looking at the Dr. Brown's bottle, it's filling as much of the triangle that's really out there. Now, would I have liked this to be a little bit wider? I would like it to be a little bit wider, but it is one of the widest that's out there. So when our babies are going to chewy chomp down on their bottle, okay, instead of just them drinking here, they're going to be drinking there, which is going to have them open their mouth more. So just when we're looking at baby bottles, we want to be able to fill the triangle as much as possible. That's going to be kind of our secret sign. And the venting system that, yes, is it a pain in the butt? Yeah. This stupid piece right here is the bane of my existence. I can't stand washing this. It is so many freaking pieces. And everybody's like, Nat, I don't want to buy the Dr. Brown's bottles because that's too much. There's too many pieces. You know, guys, you get what you pay for. I will tell you that. We have been working with Dr. Brown's for 15 plus years. And I will tell you, odds are we will only work with Dr. Brown's because they really are the superior bottle, especially because our preemie babies, right? If we do have preemies, their little guts have not necessarily always finished maturing. And this venting system gives them the flexibility to be able to do that. Now, a lot of people are like, do I buy glass or plastic? Unpopular opinion, definitely not glass. If you buy the glass, you have to buy the silicone sleeve so that if the glass drops on the floor, it protects it. I find that we've had a few issues where the silicone sleeve of not only a Dr. Brown's bottle, but any bottles that are out there that are glass bottles, if you put the silicone sleeve on and you wash it constantly and you don't dry it appropriately, you could potentially have a mold issue between the bottle and the silicone. Okay. So it is important. Plus, glass bottles are so freaking heavy. Yes, I do. I understand why you want glass. I get it. Yes, it is better for the environment. However, these are BPA free, which means that there's nothing in here that's going to hurt us. And if you're worried about microplastics, I literally want you to go Google microplastics in breast milk and then get back to me about glass bottles, because we have more microplastic in our actual breasts that are going to be an issue versus this bottle. And I really like Google it. I'm not just telling tales out of school. I really do mean it. But I understand, because of course I want to protect your babies too, but I want to find a hybrid way that we could protect our babies, have them hold their own bottle, and really make this an easier situation for ourselves. Okay. All right, so the Dr. Brown's Options bottles, the way to go, start out with a level 1. Understand when it comes to Dr. Brown's bottles, it actually has several different sizes. It starts at P. P is the smallest bottle, and so it's preemie, stands for P. Then it goes to T for transitional, and then it goes to number 1, 2, 3, 4, into the nether. So when you're starting out, do start out with a level 1. Don't go to level 2 very quickly. If you're working with a lactation professional and they recommend that you go to a P or a T, just know where you could buy those, or maybe add those onto your registry if they are returnable and you don't need them. Okay. The T ones right now from Dr. Brown's are a little bit harder to find. I just had to call Dr. Brown's directly and kind of call in a favor for a family friend of mine that needed some teas. So Dr. Brown's does have them. You can go to Dr. Brown's directly to buy them. Amazon has been sold out for a while. Target's been sold out for a while. But if you need those tea nipples, you could add them onto my registry directly from the Dr. Brown's website. See, it comes full circle. Okay. So now, I was telling you before about feeding chairs. We do need a place to feed these babies, and this is where the table for 2 comes in play. Now, I am wildly obsessed with this feeding chair because I like things that serve multiple purposes that have a really good price point, and this is one of them. So the table for 2 is currently available, shipping right this very second, and it is the perfect stationary feeder for your twinnies. So you put them both in. They have preemie newborn snugglers as well. So if your babies are on the tinier side, if they're both bottle feeding and you are flying solo, and you were like, I do not have a partner to be next to me. I do not have family members to be with me. And yes, we have twin families that are going at this 100% by themselves. I don't have any here. I may actually, but we have families that are on military bases all around the world that have partners that deployed that are going to be flying solo 100% with those twinnies. This is something that really should be in your arsenal of baby gear, because not only is this a great place to double bottle feed your twinnies, it's also a safe place for them to sit post feeds, because your twinnies should be held up for about 20 minutes after each feed, even if you are breastfeeding. So this creates that perfect, safe, comfortable, and really necessary environment that your twinnies have to stay in. Okay. So definitely, Bonnie, not the Twinsy pillow. The Twinsy pillow is not a stationary place. And I will tell you the problem with the Twinsy pillow, it is a great breastfeeding pillow, but you guys are using that as a twin positioner and your babies are falling into the void. So if you think about this, if I have a Twinsy pillow, right, it's like the big W. Let me draw this for you, because this is something, and this is like one of those things, Bonnie, that comes up all the time at Twiniversity. And I'm like, guys, it doesn't match. Okay. So when we're looking at the Twinsy pillow, okay, the Twinsy pillow looks like a set of boobs is what I want to say. And then you guys are putting it this way, right? And then you're putting a baby here and a baby here. And that's the way that you're positioning it. But the thing is that this portion of the twinsy pillow is hollow. And so their little butts and legs are falling into the center of the twinsy pillow, making it, God forbid, a potential place that these babies could get hurt. So I have been to quite a few twin houses where I go and help the moms breastfeed or help them like parent, whatever. I mean, people hire me for all crazy things. And the amount of times that I have seen people using the twinsy pillow inappropriately is more than I could count. So understand, you cannot use the twinsy pillow as a stationary positioner for your twinnies because it does not have a bottom. Therefore, your twinnies could fall through. And if your twinnies are little, they're not, people put like blankets underneath and they put foam dividers underneath, but it is not, you cannot use it as a positioner. Okay, understood, not for feeding, but would you recommend against the twinsy just for babies to hang out in? I would say yes, do not have your babies hang out in the twinsy. The twinsy is made to be a breastfeeding pillow. If you want your babies to hang out, they're going to hang out in the table for two. Period, the end. And yes, table for two is a partner. And yes, I would tell that to you, but I'm not telling this to you because they're a partner. I'm telling you this because I want what's safest for your twinnies. And this is actually what is safest for your twinnies. I know that we like to MacGyver stuff, but we cannot use items for their unintended purposes. The twinsy pillow was never intended to be a positioner for your twinnies. The twinsy pillow was meant to be a breastfeeding pillow, the end. The table for two is meant to be a positioner and a feeding pillow. It was designed for that. It was approved for that. And it's regulated rules-wise as far as that goes. So yes, so that is it. So I don't mean to like get on a soapbox, Bonnie, and I'm not pointing a finger at you because I'm so happy that you guys are bringing it up. But recently I was working with 6-pound twinnies. They were wonderfully healthy and they were great. And the mom was using the twinsy pillow, but the babies were falling through and literally like this, like they were putting the babies in the twinsy and then this was happening. And I'm like, exactly. Are we trying to raise gymnasts? Are we trying to get them to eat their own toes? So we have to use something that is going to provide good back support, good butt support, good hind support, and good head support. And that's what the table for two does. Okay. How does it work during breastfeeding? It looks really sturdy. So when it comes to breastfeeding, and we will talk about this at boob camp, but Nicole, it works good. It doesn't work great. So know when it comes to breastfeeding pillows, there are two different types of pillows. There's a fiber-filled pillow like the twinsy, and there's a foam-filled pillow like the My Breast Friend and like the table for two. The foam-filled are going to be much sturdier and it's going to make you feel a little bit more secure. But when it comes to breastfeeding pillows, you want to make sure that you have enough torso depth to use a foam-filled pillow. Does this make sense, Amanda? Does anything that I'm saying? Okay, good. Because I just want to make sure that you guys understand. So you understand that fiber-filled would kind of be like this and is going to be mushy. And then foam-filled is going to be more structural, like the table for two and the My Breast Friend pillows. They're going to have a lot more, they're a lot sturdier. They're not as mushy, but it depends on how big your torso is. So like Regina, if you guys are, I'm going to say 5'8" and over, then you may want to consider getting the foam-filled, the sturdier one. But if you're on the shorter end and your torso is kind of squatter, you might want to go with the fiber-filled like the Twin Z or the Boppy per se, because it's much smushier. So you could smush it a little bit more and have a little bit more torso space. So when it comes to that, it's tough to choose kind of which is best. But honestly, the table for two is for feeding, for stationary entertainment, and also for security. And the Twin Z is really just for breastfeeding. Okay. All right. Stunning. All right. After that, we need to go out and about. We still have things that we got to buy. We still got strollers. I know. I cannot wait to get into the great stroller debate. But I believe, if memory serves me correctly, that this next slide should show something. it doesn't. I thought we were doing another game, Amanda. I lied. I was wrong. So the game is after. Wah, wah. She just gave me a thumbs down because she remembers things that I don't. So that's totally fine. So when it comes to out and about, there are things that you need. You need 2 car seats. Okay. I could talk about car seats. I could talk about car seats for 90 minutes. Like maybe actually, Amanda, we should have a car seat class. Would any of you that's here now, would any of you want to attend a car seat class that's virtual that we did just like this? So if you feel comfortable with that, I actually want to know. So if you, yes, let me know, put it in the chat. Yes, you would attend free class, of course, but making sure that you guys were using your car seats appropriately with your Twinnies and you knew, or traveling with Twinnies class, Paige says, of course, Paige is the best. All right, guys, but I do love that. Amanda, let's add that to our discussion for 2025. And you guys heard it here first. If you see it happen, know that it actually happened because of you. So thank you. This is how we create Twiniversity classes. But you need 2 car seats. Now, whether you're getting 2 car seats that are $70 each or getting 2 car seats that are $700 each, and yes, there are car seats that are $700, this is something where budget does come into play. Because if you could not, like if you're getting one $400 car seat and then one $70 car seat, understand they're going to be totally different car seats, but they're all safe to use within the United States or Canada, depending on where you buy your car seat, or the UK or Australia. So there are federal regulations and countrywide regulations for every country as far as keeping our kitties safe. And within the United States, they have to go by the National Transportation Safety Bureau, I think is who makes our regulations. It's NHTSA is who that is, administration. But they will basically decide if there are any changes that need to be done for car seats, what has to be added to car seats. But know that if you buy a car seat within the United States, it has to meet federal regulations. Now, are you ready for a new soapbox that I'm on that Amanda and Paige don't even know about? The amount of bootleg car seats that are currently being sold is extraordinary. Now, when you're buying your car seat, please consider buying directly from the manufacturer of that car seat, not on Amazon, not on Target, not on Walmart, not on any online company that allows third-party manufacturers or purchasers. Okay, so what we've discovered is that on Amazon, there are companies that sell car seats that look like a baby company, but are actually a bootleg company. And Amazon is having a very, very, very hard time regulating counterfeit products. All right, so know that when you are buying car seats, I strongly recommend that you buy them directly from the manufacturer of the car seat company that you're looking for and add them to your My Registry. That way, we know that there is no chance of getting a bootleg car seat. The ones that are being the bootleg the most is the ones that also turn into the car seat that has the wheels. We all know which one that is, but I will tell you here in New York City, we have a famous street called Canal Street. And Canal Street is where you could buy knockoffs of any company. You want a Gucci bag? Sure. You want a blueberry instead of Burberry? Got you. If you want any knockoff product, I could go get it for you today, including knockoff perfumes, knockoff jewelry, knockoff purses, knockoff shoes. I could tell you where all of that is because welcome to this crazy city that I live in. One of the things that they are selling the most right now are bootleg car seats. And I am infuriated because those car seats that are being sold that look exactly like the ones that you think they are actually have no federal regulation whatsoever. And there's also, you're going to think that you're buying something directly from a company when you're not. So word to the wise, when you're buying your car seats, buy them directly from the manufacturer, okay? Amanda, could you remind me to add this to every class? This is just something that I've noticed, I would say, within the past 5 months. I noticed it a lot during Christmas time, that people were buying those, and I'm like, this can't really be happening. Like, I'm literally not witnessing what's going on here. And whatever, the cops shut them down, they open up under a new shell company. In 5 days, there's always something. So know that you need 2 car seats, and you should have your car seats and know how to install them by your 30th week of pregnancy, not a day before, not a day after. Well, plenty of days before if you can manage that, but you definitely need to have 2 of those, okay? We strongly, strongly recommend that you hold off on buying your forever stroller and you just get yourself a double snap and go. So I am going to move and screenshot this if you guys want, because I'm going to be turning the page. Good job. But when it comes to strollers, these are all available to you. And I hate that they're all freaking black. It made me crazy putting this slide together for you. So we're going to start at the top and we're going to work our way to the bottom. So if we look at the top left, you're going to see that that is a double snap and go. That means that you're going to take your 2 car seats, whatever car seats they are, and you're going to put them on that basic frame. That means that that becomes your travel system. That's what I would buy, no matter what. The #1 twin product of any family is the Baby Trend Double Snap and Go. It's just what it is. We don't make the rules, we just report them. That is the #1 twin product that is still sold within the United States today. If we go next to that, that is a side-by-side stroller. Now, this one, I believe, may be the Baby Jogger City Mini, but I'm not 100% sure. This was really just to show you kind of the ones that are available. So we have the car seat holder, then we have the double side-by-side. And if we look under the Baby Trend, you will see that that is an inline or a tandem stroller, which means one Twinnie sits in front of the other. And then next to that, you have your double wagon, which Larktail we know also makes a quad. So either if you have 2 sets of twins or if you just have Twinnies but have older kids, this is something that you could look into. You could look at the quad Larktail. And then under that, we have a jogging stroller. And a jogging stroller basically means that there's typically a handbrake so that when you're actually jogging down the street that you could hold a handbrake like a bicycle and start slowing down. But we also know it by its signature front wheel that could lock or wiggle around depending on how you're using it, but it only has one real wheel to make it a smoother run. When you are buying a jogging stroller, I would not recommend it as an everyday stroller, because if you live in an area where you have curbs, even if you're just going to Target and going up and down the curb and not up the ramp, when you have that single wheel that you're kind of popping up onto the curb, you're losing the stability of 2 wheels in the front. So when you're looking at which stroller are you going to buy as like your forever stroller, I would either go with a double side-by-side, a wagon, or a tandem. I really wouldn't consider buying a jogging stroller unless you're actually going to be jogging every single day. Okay? So when we talk about the Mockingbird or the Vista or any of those, just know that those are not twin strollers. Those are 1+1 strollers. I know many of you probably got the Upper Baby Vista already, but I will tell you that is not a good twin stroller, because each seat, depending on the model that you got, each seat may not hold the same amount of weight. That's the first thing. And second thing is if you have something like the Mockingbird or the Uppa, you cannot recline both babies. Both babies cannot take a nap at the same time because somebody's feet are going to be hitting the seat of the seat that's in front of them. And no matter the configuration, I don't care what you do. I literally, $100 challenge right now. If you literally have MacGyvered how to do this, message Natalie at Twiniversity.com or Amanda at Twiniversity.com or literally community at Twiniversity.com. But you cannot find it. It does not exist. I would say if there's one thing that I feel that I am most confidently knowledgeable about, it really is breastfeeding first and then stroller second. But it is very challenging to try to get any 1+1 strollers to accommodate Twinnies truly. Yes, they could fit, but yeah, it's not really made for that. Okay. So I do not recommend the double snap and go. No, I recommend the double snap and go. The double snap and go is like the cat's pajamas. You totally should use the double snap and go, because one, you could buy it secondhand, which if you live in an area that has a big multiples club, definitely grab one of those. You're not going to use it for a long time. But even brand new out of the box, the price point is the lowest that you're going to find. And you have to have 2 car seats anyway. If you didn't need the 2 car seats, then I would say, yeah, go into another stroller, you'll be fine. But you have to. You cannot be discharged from the hospital, even if you're in walking distance here in New York City. You have to have 2 car seats to be discharged from the hospital, because that's just, we need to know that those kiddos are going to be safe. That's the law within the United States. You cannot have just random babies bobbling all around your backseat. Okay. All right. So when you're looking at twins plus one, so Beverly, I say for you, go look at the Zoe. Go look at the Zoe triple. So a lot of our twin families with an older one either use the Juvie Big Caboose, the Valco twin tri-mode with the Joey seat, or they use the Zoe Trio. Those are the 3 biggest strollers that families that have a pair and a spare, as we call it, and also Beverly, know that we have a class that is for twins plus singletons. So we have a class exclusively made for people that already have singletons that don't need the basic information, just need that 20 information. Just know that you have that. Good. Yes, Beverly, please. I want you to go take that class. That would make me so happy. Okay. Actually, Beverly, as a gift for me, you're randomly winning entrance into that class. Amanda, could you make that happen for me, please? Congratulations, Bev. You're one of the big winners of a random prize that I didn't know I was giving away. So yeah, so Amanda's popping in some more stuff there, which is really great. But know that not every stroller is going to work for every family, which is why when it comes to Twiniversity, we work with multiple stroller companies, because you have to think about, do I have steps? Yes or no? Do I have an elevator? Yes or no? Do I travel a lot by car? Does this need to fit in a trunk? Yes or no? Does my mother need to lift this? Does grandma, is she able to get these kids in and out of this? Yes or no? Do I have multiple kids? Yes or no? How am I using this stroller? Am I going to take it shopping? Yes or no? Am I jogging? Yes or no? Am I going to go to the beach a lot? Do I need air tires? Yes or no? Am I going from cobblestone to concrete to grass to asphalt? Yes or no? So these, unfortunately, are all questions that we go over when we have one-on-one conversations with you guys, if we're ever lucky enough to do that. But know that there is not one stroller for a twin family. It's impossible. Actually, you know what's a good idea? What I'll do is I'll work with my registry to put up a blog post about this particular topic. Okay, so we have it, of course, at Twiniversity, but I know that you guys are going to be spending a lot of time over there. So Amanda, could you put a link to the blog that's at my registry, because they have a ton of great articles that are over there as well about creating your registry, making sure that everything is on there. But I do want you guys to have more information when it comes to picking the double stroller that's best for you. So maybe we could create like a quiz or something like that. But I'm telling you, I really wish that there was one perfect stroller. Okay. I would say the closest that anybody has ever gotten was one Italian brand that made a stroller literally based off my book. They went into what to do when you're having two, took all of my notes and literally made a twin stroller, have them on video saying that, but yet we have no affiliation with this company whatsoever. But they stole all of my ideas. So thanks for that, guys. Just take my IP. No big deal. I don't have much. But know that we purposely are pretty infuriated about that, because we're just like, hey, we're proud that you did that. But know that seriously, there isn't one stroller out there. And even that stroller wasn't even the perfect stroller for every family. I didn't like the way that it folded. Okay. So take that into consideration. Just know that there are many out there, but I really, 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 really would advise against the Mockingbird at this time. And I would advise against the Uppa, only because they are not made for twins. So I don't have to feel bad. I'm not pooping on a company. They didn't make something for you guys. So why are you buying it? Buy something that's going to last until your kids go to kindergarten, because parents of twins tend to use strollers longer than the average bear. Katie, I like the donkey a lot, but that price point is obscene. It's just obscene to spend $2,400 on a stroller. We could literally, I could buy a car for less than that on CarMax at this point. So if you have it in the budget and that's something that excites you, yes, get the expensive things, bells and whistles. But do I think that the Contours Elements is a good match to the donkey at a lot less? Yes. There are many strollers out there that can kind of mimic some of the bougiest strollers that are out there. But if we're looking at every day, you do want to look at Baby Jogger. You do want to look at Peg Perigo. You definitely want to look at Valco. You definitely want to look at Bumble Ride. So there are plenty of stroller companies out there that exclusively make twin strollers. Those are the ones that I want you guys to get. Okay. So Taylor said, do the Zoe Valco work with sibling when the twinnies are still in car seat attachments? No, it doesn't. And actually, that's not true. The Zoe may. Valco definitely not. Juvie Big Caboose, maybe. You may be able to use 2 car seats. And Amanda, does Baby Trend have a double snap and go that has a seat in the back? Didn't Kylie review that? Check that out. So we have to literally, we're going to do some homework specifically for you, Taylor. So keep an eye out. Amanda's going to pop a link right now. But just know that there isn't one stroller for every family. And if there was, first of all, we probably would have invented it, but we can't, because I am not making that choice for you and your family, because I know that I had 6 strollers. What? Did I just say that? I did. I had literally 6. I never bought one of them new. I bought every one of them on Facebook Marketplace, and back in the day it was Craigslist. But it took me, it was like I was Goldilocks-ing strollers. This one's too big. This one's too small. This one's too heavy. This one's too light. It took me a very long time to find our forever stroller. So yeah, definitely take a look at that. And yes, Amanda said the Sit and Stand by Baby Trend is great. I will look at the Venice Child double stroller. Now, for the record, Bonnie, I have not seen that with my own eyes. I know of it, but I have never actually touched it. So until I actually play with the stroller, I can't give us our perfect opinion. But Amanda, if you could throw down the Venice, maybe we'll reach out to the company, get one, and we'll see what that's about. Okay, guys? All right, guys, we're nearing the end. And with every single free class that we do, we always offer you guys like a discount. But I will tell you, we are starting the year. You will not see this again. I really mean it. I really mean it. We've already discussed this as a family. This will only be this rate until Wednesday at midnight, or Tuesday at midnight into Wednesday, is what I should say. So we are offering you guys our Expecting Twins class, which you could scan right there. 103 videos to watch at your pace that literally goes into detail on everything from car seats to strollers to everything that you could possibly imagine. This is the class. It is 99 smackaroonies. And if childbirth classes are covered by your insurance, ask us for a super bill and hopefully you could get that covered. Okay. But just know this is the class. I have one more slide with the class, I believe. Here it is. So know that we have 16 different twin families that give you tons of advice as well. Our best-selling digital twin journal is also included. You get 17 pages of worksheets and journal pages as well with the class. And once again, literally 103 videos, which I believe comes out to a little bit over 60 something hours. I have to double check on that, but it is a lot of content and you watch it at your pace. So right now it is $99. It will not be $99 again. I promise you that. Maybe we'll do $20 off later in the year, but we're starting the year off right. I really wish that we could offer this to you guys full time, but just know this is the class right now. Please buy it. Please consider it. And if you hate it, ask for your money back. I'm totally fine with that, but try it. Okay. And this is a way you get your partner involved too. So if like, I'm sorry that they're not here to join us for this class, it's totally fine. They could join you for all of our classes. All right, guys. And our classes are totally able to add to your My Registry. And I realize, Amanda, that game did not download. And that's why I think I was off, although it may be coming after this. I will see in a second because I still have 3 slides, so we may still have a game. But you could add any Twiniversity class to your My Registry, okay? Do I have it? I do have it! Yay! I'm smarter. Past me is celebrating right now that future me did the right thing. So this is our final game of the class. I am very excited to have you guys play. I am the most excited about it. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. Please, I have to find my music. No, that's here. What's this? No, that's Christmas. Here it is. Yes. All right, guys. Our final game of our time together is who are not the twin parents? So if you see these celebrities next to me, some of them have twins, some of them don't. Which ones don't? Put your answers in the chat right now. If you're worried people are going to steal your answers, feel free to message Amanda privately with your answers. We're fine with that. But give us the people who do not have twins. I'm not going to tell you how many there are. I'm not going to tell you who they are. I'm going to tell you that there are families here that don't have twins. Who are they? Boo, 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 boo. I need the Jeopardy music. What's this sound? Was it a fun one? I forgot half these sounds that I downloaded, but this is my favorite. All the time, all the time. You got to love a DJ horn. So the winner of this will get a free Twiniversity Expecting Twins class. So I am so excited for you guys to take this class. So just know the winner will get that. All right. This is going to be our one final chance. Put your answers in right now. I love it. Here we go. Amanda, I'm raising the stakes. Are you ready? All right. Now, Amanda, lock in an answer right now of who the winner is. Pick one of your winners right now. Okay? I'm making a bonus game. A bonus game that is going to win another free class. One of these people not only does not have twins, but is a twin themselves. Who is it? Who is the person that is here that's a twin but does not have twins? Ten more seconds to go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, everybody is locked in. Amanda is going to be picking two winners. We will have two winners for this game. Nick Cannon does have twins with Miss Mariah Carey. Khloe Kardashian doesn't have twins, but she probably wishes she does. Al Pacino does have twins with Beverly D'Angelo. If any of you were just watching Christmas Vacation, Beverly D'Angelo is also Ellen Griswold. If you didn't know, they have twins together. Random. Julia Roberts, Danny something is the person that she has her twinnies with, and her twinnies are the same age as ours. Emma Stone does not have twinnies, but is related to Julia Roberts, I believe. No, maybe not. Maybe that's Emma Roberts that I'm thinking of, so scratch that. And then George Clooney does have twinnies with his beautiful, stunning, really philanthropist of a wife, and Ashton Kutcher is the one that doesn't have twins but is a twin themselves. So that concludes our games. Amanda, do we have winners? Sharon and Taylor, you guys are the winners. Congratulations. Thank you so much for playing with us today. We are so thankful for our partners. We really hope that you found this beneficial. This is really an opportunity for us to kind of get there with you guys to help you create that perfect twin registry. I am so thankful that you were seriously with us today. So on behalf of me and the rest of the Twiniversity team and all of our partners, we just really want to say thank you. Thank you so, so much. There's no need to thank us. We just want to make you have a better experience. If you need anything from me or anybody on the Twiniversity Mom Squad, message us at community@twiniversity.com. We will message you back as soon as possible. And just know that not only for this, but anything that you need, we will always be here for you. If you take a Twiniversity class and you need a super bill to submit your insurance for reimbursement, you let me know. You need lactation support, you let me know. You need literally anything, you let me know. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for playing with us and have a great day. See you later, alligators. Thanks for watching.